What you do every day will eventually build the person that you want to be. Every person is a product of their days. That's why successful people have better days than unsuccessful people. And those successful days eventually turn into successful years. And that turns into a successful person. There is a quote that says, if you want a good life, you should have good years. And if you want good years, you need good months. If you want good months, you need good weeks. If you want good weeks, you need good days. And if you want good days, you need good mornings. This shows the importance of having a routine, especially a morning routine, in which you practice a skill every single day that eventually compounds and you become a master at. In your morning routine, if you do 20 push-ups every single day for a whole year, you're going to build a pretty good chest. Even though it's a very small workout, if you do it every single day, even if it's a little bit, you still end up building a pretty big chest. When you compound something small over a long period of time, that leads to tremendous gains. Think of a jacked person who goes to the gym every single day, a jacked person and a fat person. If they started out the same, they were both the same body type, and this one person started going to the gym every day, but the other person started eating junk food every single day. On the first day, you wouldn't notice the difference. The person who goes to the gym, he'll feel better, and the person who eats junk food, he'll feel worse. But physically, you won't be able to tell a difference. Maybe a week from now, still not that much of a difference. A month, maybe a little bit. A year, definitely you'll be able to tell a difference. This jacked person is having good days. Those good days are creating good weeks and so on until he creates a good year. And those good years will create a good life. And this fat person, when he eats this junk food, he's creating a life, he's creating years where he's just eating this food and getting fat. These days are creating bad weeks. These bad weeks are creating bad months. These bad months are creating bad years. And these bad years will eventually cause him a bad life. They say people who are obese, they live a life similar to cancer patients. Nobody wants to live like that. And how did he get to this point? It's just the daily activities. Even if it's small, one burger a day, every day will lead you to this. It seems small, it's just a burger. It's just a packet of French fries. When you do this every day, it compounds. And it will compound into something that you don't want to be. But you'll have to bear the consequences of. This is why small daily habits are so powerful. Bad habits are powerful, and also good habits are powerful. Don't choose the one that's going to make you worse. If you're scrolling on Instagram for 2 hours a day, in a year you're going to be depressed. There's no doubt about it. Because when you're scrolling, the dopamine in your brain, which makes you feel pleasure, is getting attached to a receptor. These receptors get dopamine, and that's how we feel pleasure. When you keep scrolling, these dopamine receptors get damaged. And even though you're releasing dopamine into your system, you won't be able to receive it. Your receptors won't be able to get that dopamine. So you won't feel as much pleasure. And dopamine is required for eating, walking, motivation. You won't feel motivated to do anything. You won't even feel like eating food which your mom makes at home. You're going to need ultra-processed food just to feel a little bit of pleasure when you eat. Because your dopamine receptors are going to be cooked. The same way we can heal those receptors. Small habits every single day, we can eventually heal these receptors, and slowly you can start to enjoy everything again. You can feel pleasure when you look at trees, when you look at a sunset. Things you thought you could never find joy in, you're going to find joy. This is the concept we're going to use to improve our mental health. And every morning, we're going to set aside 5 to 10 minutes to do a morning routine which will change your life, cure you of depression, anxiety, make you happier, make you healthier. And when you do this morning routine, you end up making better choices, which will compound over the years, and you will be the product of those choices. And hopefully, if you do this morning routine, that product will be something you're proud of. This is the same routine I followed to reduce my screen time from 10 hours a day to just less than 1. And I don't use Instagram anymore. I don't scroll on Instagram. I haven't scrolled on Reels for months. It's all because of this morning routine, which helped me make better choices. I'm Mohammed, and I'm on a mission to help young men like me live a happier, healthier life with tactics like these, which will help you improve your life. There are 3 habits that I want you to do on your morning routine. That is cold shower, meditation, and gratitude journal. These 3 habits are going to decimate your depression. It's going to heal your dopamine receptors. It's going to make you happier and healthier. If you just listen to me, I can help you achieve a life where you are happy. A life where you're not addicted, where you don't feel depressed, anxious, and you can just enjoy life the way it is. Okay, so this is the first habit we're going to do. Straight after getting out of bed, I want you to go into the shower, turn on the tap, turn it all the way cold, and I want you to step into that cold shower. Don't make it hot and then slowly turn it to cold. That does not work. You need to feel that shock of the cold water hitting you. Stay in there for 5 to 10 seconds. When you're starting out, that's enough. 5 to 10 seconds. Don't think, oh, I'm going to do 1 minute every day and eventually you're just going to stop doing these habits. Just do a little bit. 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. Just do that much. Can you do 5 seconds of cold shower every day? Yeah, of course you can. It's not that hard. It's only 5 seconds. So get into it 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And slowly, as you get more and more accustomed to the cold, increase the time. Right now, I do 1 minute, 10 seconds of cold shower. That's pretty advanced. That's pretty hard to do. But I've been doing this for years. I'm more accustomed to the cold than you probably are. And when you do this, you will immediately feel much happier. When you get out of that cold shower, you will immediately feel much happier. Because when you get into that shower, your dopamine dips below your baseline, which will make you feel that pain, that agitation of being in that cold shower, that discomfort. But when you get out of that cold shower, you'll instantly feel happier because that dopamine level will rise above baseline and it will stay above baseline for hours after you're done. So this is just 10 seconds of pain for hours of feeling good. So you can just think about that investment, that return on investment. It's who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't want to be happy for hours? And it's just 10 seconds of pain. But that's the hardest part. You need to be disciplined enough to do that 10 seconds of pain. And if you do it, your reward will be hours of pleasure. This will also get you out of bed. This has the same effect as caffeine. When you get into that cold shower, you automatically just wake up. Your sleepiness goes away. You feel fresh. Your face becomes less puffy. And overall, you're just ready to take on the day. This will reverse the damage that you've been giving your dopamine receptors by scrolling. When you scroll, your dopamine receptors are getting fried, they're getting destroyed. When you do this, you're healing your dopamine receptors, introducing pain into your life so that you can get pleasure afterwards. When you scroll, you introduce pleasure into your life. Your dopamine levels go above baseline, and after you're done scrolling, it goes below baseline. That's the pain and agitation you feel when you're done scrolling. So we're trying to reverse that effect by introducing pain first instead of pleasure. Pain and pleasure are two sides of the same coin. When there's pleasure, pain is also there. So whatever is introduced first, the other will follow. So if we introduce pain first into your life, pleasure will follow. If you do this every day, you'll just be so much happier. Your mood will get better, you'll have more motivation. You can go for a walk and you look at a tree and think, that's a mighty fine tree. You would have never noticed that tree before. You look at the tree and wonder, was this always here? This tree is so beautiful. How come I've never noticed it? The change in life is just spectacular when you do this every day. So after you're done with the cold shower, come outside and sit on your bed and lean your back against a pillow. Set a timer on your phone. Set a timer for 2-3 minutes at first when you're starting out. Just sit there, start the timer, close your eyes and focus on your breath. You're going to focus on your breath. You're going to focus on the feeling of air going in through your nose, your lungs expanding, your stomach moving outwards. And when you exhale, your stomach moves inwards, your lungs contract. You can feel the air going out of your nose. You just have to focus on this. And after a few seconds, you'll immediately lose focus of your breath. You're going to start thinking about some random stuff that doesn't even matter. Your mind will start wandering. You're going to be thinking about school, or the work you have to do, the work you haven't done, or what happened yesterday, what happened a few years ago that you were still embarrassed by. You're going to be having all these thoughts. And after a while, you're going to realize, oh wait, I'm not focusing on my breath. My mind is wandering. And when you realize that, you want to bring your attention back to the breath. You want to focus on your breath once again. This is the cycle of meditating. You start focusing on your breath, you lose focus, you realize you've lost focus, and you bring your attention back to the breath. This is going to happen many times throughout your meditation session. And that's what's supposed to happen. That's the point of meditation. Right now in this world, everything we do, we are always mind wandering. When your mom is talking to you, telling you about some story, telling you a story about her childhood, or When someone's talking to you about something that really means a lot to them, but you're not listening to them, your mind is just wandering and thinking about something else. If you want to reduce that, if you want to be able to focus on what people are saying, if you want to listen to people, talk to people, have good conversations without your mind just wandering, meditation will help you with that. It's going to help you be more alert to when you lose focus, and it'll help you when you want to focus again on the task at which what you're doing, the task you're doing. This is a part of the meditation. The aim of meditation is to bring your focus back to the breath. It's not to focus on your breath. The point of it is so that you lose focus and that you bring your attention back to your breath. When you bring your attention back to your breath after losing focus, it's like doing one bicep curl for your brain. It's one rep for your brain. When you do these reps every single day, your brain just becomes so much stronger. Your focus gets better. Your ADHD goes away. I used to be so distracted. I couldn't even focus on what the teacher was saying in the front of my class. I wanted to listen, but I couldn't because I had this ADHD tendency to just lose focus. Once I started meditating, all of them went away. I'm now able to focus. I'm now able to make this video focusing on the camera, focusing on what I want to say on this video without losing focus much. I'm 100% focused. I have no other thoughts in my brain. That's because I meditate. Meditation is so powerful. I know you're not going to stick to it if you do 5 or 10 minutes every single day. So when you're starting out, do 2 minutes. If you can't do 2 minutes, do 1 minute. If you can't even do that, do 30 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm giving you such an easy task here. What you want to do when you start out is not to think, okay, I'm not going to gain any benefit from 10 seconds. So I'm not going to do 10 seconds. I'm going to do 1 minute. I'm going to do 10 minutes. When you start out, the point of these habits is just to get you consistent. Once you get consistent, you can increase the time at which you're doing these habits. So just don't get discouraged if you lose focus in meditation. Don't say, oh, I've tried doing meditation. I just can't focus on my breath for that long. You're not supposed to be able to. You're supposed to lose concentration of your breath. And you're supposed to bring your attention back. That's the point of meditation. So don't get discouraged if you lose focus. Just keep going every single day as much as you can. If you can only do 5 seconds every single day, then do 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Don't try starting out so high. I've tried it before. I've never stuck to any habit which I've started out very high. So start out with a small time and then incrementally increase it the more and more you get comfortable doing this habit. The last habit I want to tell you is gratitude journaling. This is the cherry on top to both these habits. Gratitude journaling just increases this morning routine, just helps you be more happy throughout your day. After you meditate, grab a piece of paper or a notebook and just write down 2 to 5 things you're grateful about. It can even be one thing. Just write down, I'm grateful for my shoes. Or write down, I'm grateful for the clouds in the sky. I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for water. I'm grateful for this room that I'm in. I'm grateful for this camera I'm recording on. Anything, just anything. It can even be for a person. I'm grateful for my mother. I'm grateful for my father. I'm grateful for my grandparents. Anyone. You can be grateful for anything that you want. And this will make you such a happy person. You're going to be getting pleasant thoughts throughout the day. When you look at your day, when you're going about your day, you're just going to be looking at something and be like, oh, I'm grateful for that. You're drinking some water in a bottle. You're going to think, oh, I'm so grateful for this water. It's keeping my throat from getting dry. And it feels nice to drink that water. And those feelings, that feeling of gratitude, and when you think about such gratitude, you just feel so much better. You feel so much better throughout the day. You're just going to have happy thoughts. You're just going to be smiling for no reason. You're just going to be going about your day and you'll just smile for no reason. You're just going to smile and think, wow, I'm so grateful for this day. It's so sunny, it's so beautiful, such a clear sky. That's the beauty of gratitude journey. It's the beauty of gratitude. When you practice this, your life just gets 10 times, 1,000 times better. I'm not exaggerating. This habit is to build upon the other two, but this is as important as the other ones. All these three habits are the most essential. Once you get good at these habits, you start increasing the amount of points in gratitude journal, increase the time that you're doing these habits, and soon, hopefully, the morning routine will just be a ritual you do every single day. You're just going to enjoy doing this morning routine because you're just going to have such good days. And when you have good days, you have good weeks, and so on, and you have a good year. When you have good years, you are going to have such a good life. Imagine every day you do these habits. Imagine a year from now, how happy you'll be, how less depressed you'll be, how less anxious you'll be. But if you're practicing gratitude, how can you be depressed? After a couple of months, you're continuously practicing gratitude. How can you be depressed? How can you be anxious? You're just going to be happy at this world. You're not going to get as frustrated anymore. And all these three habits, these are the three core habits that you need to improve your mental health. And if you keep doing these every single day, you're going to change. You're going to become such a high performer. You're going to be the kind of guy people look up to. You're going to be able to make better decisions. You're going to be able to have better relationships. Everything good you want in life comes from these three core things that you should do every morning. Especially now with such modern addictions and the bad habits we do every single day. This is more important than ever before. So continue practicing this and you will live a good life.